it has to be in you. Professional boxing, I think. You have to sort of have that grit. Amateur boxing's a sport, professional boxing's a business. The more eyes and the more people that know you only helps your profile. He's spending like $500,000 in his camps alone. There's professional boxers not spending that money, so how can you knock him? So the karate instructor was sort of advising my dad to get him into boxing.
You need to constantly be in people's faces to get what you want, whether that be in boxing, whether that be, Nasty and Dara trying to explore other opportunities in the content creator space to get their name out there, whether that's Helm and me. From a professional standpoint, who is Gerard's ideal professional opponent? We on?
We're on.
Lovely.
Whenever you want to start.
Gerard, welcome.
The big man.
Yeah.
How
Thanks for coming down to Cork. Your first time here.
First time in Cork. Lovely city. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And even better time to be down because we're announcing a new partnership. So
we are.
Great.
So when this goes out, we'll already have announced it. But we, as Helm, the company, are sponsoring Gerard for the foreseeable future. So we won't go into details about the fights and stuff, but that will look like Helm being in his corner now for his next couple of fights, the foreseeable future.
Definitely.
And it's mad because we only met a month ago.
New York.
And
it is a month, yeah.
It's like, I suppose we should probably talk about that story of how we met, because we were working obviously with Dara, Nasty and Owen, and we had them over for the big MSG event. Callum Walsh was headlining, and you were telling us this morning you guys were looking for some sort of content with Legras, with mixed beer.
Yeah, we were actually over. Mick had a fight in MSG, and then Mick was also over promoting his beer. But again, just looking at things to do for the beer, and we were walking up the street, you were walking down the street, and we recognised Nasty, and then Dara had followed me, and it was like, frig, why did we not get them to do something? So we had a meeting the next day, and that was from there. It's been mad. It's probably been a month ago now.
A month ago, and like I think you guys, you were saying that you and Mick had been talking about like getting someone in a leprechaun outfit or something to promote the beer, because it's Paddy's Day weekend,
and they were doing it.
We were doing the Ireland suit. So
in the limousine.
It's in the limousine, but it's a small world, right? Because it's we've just launched a company and we're trying to make a big splash across a load of different spaces. And Helm as a company, we're geared towards content creators, and we will get into a little bit more detail about why it's important, obviously, for anyone in the boxing space to be creating content. But I think more importantly, we worked out that the tools we've built for creators you can actually use as well, whether that's the invoicing tool or some of the other functions.
Well, that right away, whenever you had that meeting with us and we get talking about the app, and it was the first thing you said about invoicing, free invoicing, and I was like, how has nobody thought of that before? And not even that, it ties in. Like you've developed the app for creators.
Yeah.
But creators aren't the only ones that send invoices. Boxers, any sports person that has sponsorship deals, business people and everything. It really does cover a lot of bases.
Speaking to you really opened our eyes that this could be more than just a creator tool. Obviously, it's the realm we're in is the content creator space. But it's funny, I only spoke recently to someone, and starting a business, as a business owner now, you have to become a content creator. You'll go into a little bit more detail about it. As a boxer, you need to be a content creator. So it's just funny, speaking to you kind of opened my mind to we can actually help way more people here than just creators. And I'm obviously a massive boxing fan, so I think you said to me as a joke on our last day in New York, would you sponsor my shorts? And we kept talking, and I think 2 or 3 weeks later we said we'd do it. So that's the way we move, and that's what I loved about meeting you and Mick. It's and you're working a bit more with the lads as well now, Dara and Nasty. It's I like the way that you guys were just willing to kind of move quickly with things, and that's the way we work here. So I'm pumped for it, man. I can't wait.
Can't wait. And I've been telling everybody about it, even boxers and all up north, because again, they're sending invoices too for for loads of stuff. Even when you're doing shorts and stuff, you're sending a lot of invoices, and you're paying a subscription fee, and
Yeah.
even the technology around invoicing apps isn't great. Like it's great.
We always say it, right? It's like it's software that are built for big established businesses, right? And the reality of it is now that like 80% of people who are sending invoices are probably people who have never sent invoices before, or who don't have the time to be using some complex software.
Yeah.
So like what we're really trying to do is like, and I
Simplify it.
yeah, exactly. I've been involved now in 2 startups, and this is my second business. And it always frustrated me that like, one, you had to pay to send an invoice. So you're paying to send something that you're trying to get paid for. So you're already down money.
Yeah.
And then 2, you're filling out these, invoices with 30 fields and POs and everything, and it's just confusing, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be. It can be. I think it can be something, and it's what we built. Streamline on your phone. You 3 or 4 clicks, and you can send an invoice.
And not even that. The whole app ties in with boxers. Obviously we were saying about a lot of boxers now, with the help of Misfits, are starting to get onto YouTube. Even TikTok's day in the life vlogs. A lot of boxers are doing it, and again, it all helps your profile. And yes, we might be sports people, but at the same time, getting into that realm of getting down the creator side of things and building your profile there, it only helps you grow and grow your fan base. And again, the bigger fan base you have, the more people that tune in to watch you fight, and the more people that buy tickets, that only helps your career.
Yeah. And it's interesting. We'll go into a little bit more detail about that in a few minutes. But like, I think the world is kind of waking up to the fact that you need to constantly be in people's faces to get what you want, whether that be in boxing, whether that be, Nasty and Dara trying to explore other opportunities in the content creator space to get their name out there, whether that's Helm and me, working with you as a boxer and just trying to get like more content out there and just get in front of more eyeballs. I think it's like, it's something I think in 5 years that every single person who owns a business, whether that be in the content creator space, the sports industry, finance, accounting, everyone's just going to need to create content, because that's the way everything's consumed now.
It's going that way. Not even that, like being around you and Dara and Nasty opened my eyes up to the possibilities of social media, and even the doors it can open. And again, I think there's been a tilt with TikTok. TikTok sort of made it accessible because it's all in one app. You can edit your videos, everything, you can post them, and it's easy to consume. And again, like obviously the more regular you do it, the better it is. And that's them saying, going down that avenue of we are boxers, but getting into this space, like even me sort of like being about with Nasty and Dara, like even from just being about with them, I've gained maybe 100, 200 followers just hanging about with them and being associated with them. So it is crazy, and it's opened my eyes to high effective and even leveraging it. If somebody's sponsoring me and they're sponsoring me for my fight, I may be fighting 5 times a year. That's only 5 opportunities to advertise that company. If I'm creating videos and they're in an ad every other week, I'm maximising their potential to advertise, and also how I can leverage that too. So it's all a plus. Like
I think we'll see it more in the sports space, where it's not just as you said, the once-off shirt sponsors. It's more like you become an integral part of that company's social media. So obviously it's great for us with getting behind you that we get to go to these events, but more importantly, like getting you down to Cork, us coming up to Belfast, and as you said, like who knows what opportunities that opens up for us, what opportunities that opens up for you. And I think like I think the reason me and you connected so much is like we're kind of like yes men to the extent we'll happily do anything, right? We're up for a bit of a laugh, we're up for new experiences. And I think that's like in the space we're in, and being open to doing things that are slightly outside of your realm, whether that's us getting behind a boxer because we're in the creator space, or you as a boxer getting into the creator space. It's like you're willing to jump into kind of a slightly different industry.
They both assist each other, don't
100%. They complement each other nicely. Great. Well, look, we'll go into a little bit more detail about like where this is all going and a bit more about present time. But for me and also for the audience, tell us a bit about Gerard's past. What got you into the sport? What was growing up north? You're from Ballycastle.
Yeah, Ballycastle.
How did you get into boxing, and how did you get kind of to the point you're at now?
Well, I was young and I'd started karate. So that's how I got into it. It was
I did
funny.
not know
Yeah,
that,
it was
yeah.
funny because I was talking to Dar about it, but I had my first sport was karate. I didn't really like field sports, football, hurling. And I think I had a bit of an obsession with punching people, which was the detriment to my karate career, because my first karate bout I had, I punched, and in training I was punching people, and you're not allowed to punch, especially at that age. I was quite young, I was only 8. So the karate instructor was sort of advising my dad to get him into boxing. So eventually I started boxing, got me in that. Didn't like it at the start because I was beating everybody up in karate, and then I started getting beat up in boxing. I was like, I don't like this, I want to go back to karate, but stuck with it, and that's what I'm saying, was an amateur for about 8 years.
Yeah.
COVID hit, which sort of put all the amateur tournaments into limbo, and the professional boxing was still going.
Yeah.
I was training in a professional boxing stable, just because they were still allowed to train because they were elite athletes.
Yeah.
And I made the switch to professional, and I haven't looked back since. My professional career so far has went very, very well. I've fallen massive cards, and that's what I'm saying. If you had told me 6 years ago this would be, I would laugh at you, like, so I really would, because I was going to all these shows that I'm now fighting on.
Yeah.
And it's like, what, like, it's not really until after, like, when you're there, you're in the moment. It's after, like, you sort of have a come down and go, what was I a part of there?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's crazy. And
come here, in terms of like making that switch and making that decision, like what do you need to have behind you to switch from being an amateur to going professional? Because I suppose there's a lot of people out there who see amateur boxers, whether that's in the Olympics, and then they make that switch to the professional game. So like, it's obviously a massive step, right? Yeah. You're committing to this. I know amateur fighting is taken very seriously, but like stepping into the professional realm is you're accepting this is going to be your life from now on.
Yeah.
So like, what made you make the switch? Obviously COVID was a big factor for you, but was it hard, and how did you go about it?
Because I'd been training, so when COVID kicked in, I was still training with so I'd moved gyms to a pro sort of stable.
Yeah.
So I was training with them, I'd say, for about 2 years before I turned pro, but because I'd done a lot of the work over the 2 years, the transition wasn't too bad, because it sort of changed my style just being around them.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a big style change. You would say amateur boxing's a sport, and it's completely different. It's about point scoring and all the rest of it. Professional boxing's a business. It's all about bums on seats, tickets, what you can sell yourself. And again, that's why it ties so well into the creator space, because the creator space is the exact same.
Yeah. But
the style's a lot different, And professional boxing, it's a lot more. It's smaller gloves, no head guard.
Yeah.
And it's a nastier style. You're trying to hurt your opponent. So I think you have to. The main sort of thing that I see is it has to be in you. Professional boxing, I think. You have to sort of have that grit and to be able to bite down the gumshoe when it gets hard, because you're not doing 3 2-minute rounds. You're 8 3-minute rounds, and you're in the ring for over 30 minutes. You know. So and. Of course, at any stage in any fight, you're going to get into hairy bits in the fight. You go, have to bite down the gum shield here and go for it. So I think it's more of a mental thing. You have to definitely be mentally, and as you said, you have to it becomes your job when you turn pro. It's complete dedication. It's not only you're in this for an 8-week camp. Outside of camp, you have to constantly be on your dad and not making sure you're blown up in your weight too much, and always keeping fit, because you never know what opportunities can come up last minute. So it's a job, and again, it's not too long. It's not a long career. It's maybe 10 years at most. So you sort of have to give it your all for that 10 years and really commit to it.
100%. And like you speak about the fitness element of it there, and I think anyone who's ever tried any remnants of boxing training knows it's one of the most, I'd say, gas intensive sports. You need to have a tank on you. Yeah. And like, I'm massively into running. We're going for a run tomorrow, which will probably smoke me, and you'll have to come down to my pace.
I'll go nice and late. So.
But like, I've done a bit of just even cardio boxing training before, and it's intense. So I suppose like you're dead right. Like, you have to commit your life to it, but you have to keep that fitness level up. Like, as you said, 30 minutes in the ring, and it's 30 minutes in the ring of constantly moving and someone else trying to hit you in the face. So it's like, you have to think of 2 elements. Am I going to gas myself here? But also, I don't want to get punched in between my eyes. So it's like,
and it's not even that. It's almost like you have to be so concentrated you can mentally drain yourself, because you can't switch off. So it's almost like the ultimate test, to be honest, because you're pushing your body physically, but you're also pushing your body mentally, because you can't switch off. You have to be concentrated for that amount of time, and then at the same time you're having to keep your fitness and know when to turn it on, turn it off. So, but again, I'm one of them people. I like a challenge, you know, and I think you have to like a challenge if you're in boxing at all, amateur or professional, because you're going to be up against it. You're going to be in fights where, you know, maybe it's leaning against you or it's leaning the other way. So, I think definitely you have to be a certain person to be a boxer, but if you're that person, then it's a good sport to be in.
Yeah. And you were saying there about, you know, a huge part of the professional game is being able to sell yourself. And you know, you can join a promotion, but like you need to be able to self promote yourself as well. So we've spoken off camera about you getting gear and getting into the content game, and you've been asking the lads and us advice on cameras and stuff. How important do you think it is for like a modern day boxer now to create content and churn it out on a regular basis?
It's massive. Now, there is, to be fair, I would say there's a lot of, I've sort of took notice of a lot of boxers already starting to do it and get into it. And again, putting themselves in a better position because there's more eyes on them, but getting better sponsorship deals as well through these videos. And you know, it's not even that. I'd say, I would agree in a point that you made that, see in 5 years' time, this will just be a norm. Yeah. Like for any, because it's just the way everything's going. Everything's going digital. You know, you have YouTube obviously, but even with TikTok, you know, everybody, even amateurs, are starting to jump on these day in the lives on TikTok because it's easy to do. It's on your phone. You get a minute 30 video, but you can get that snapshot of somebody's day. And I think just of getting yourself, you have to sell yourself as a professional boxer. Again, amateur boxing's a sport, professional boxing's a business. The more eyes and the more people that know you only helps your profile. The bigger profile you have sells you. When these big promoters come in, they know you can sell tickets, and even people tuning in. You know, if no boxer had social media nowadays, nobody would know who they are really. If they completely went off social media, weren't on social media, nobody would know who they are. Yeah. Because even if nobody really reads newspapers or anything anymore, it's all completely changed. You have to have a social media, and I think, you know, you can have TikTok and you can have Instagram, Facebook, but you have to go all out if you really want to maximize what you can get out of social media.
100%. And I think like you made a good point there of like, boxing is a business, right? And you need to diversify your revenue streams, right? And if you're just a boxer who goes into camp and shuts off and closes himself off to the world, like trying to live off those fight fees you're getting for the once-off fights, you know, 2 or 3 times a year, like social media opens up a world of opportunities, whether that be like clothing sponsors, whether that be food places, anything. If you're churning out content and you have eyeballs on you, you know, that can open up a different revenue stream, and then that puts you in a better position where you can make decisions that are, you know, better suited to you, because you're not just reliant on those once-off fees for a fight. You have your other, whether that's TikTok or, you know, YouTube. If you get big enough there, there's consistent revenue coming from ad spend there. So
exactly, and you know what? It's something that, again, speaking to the boys, like if you do these videos, these vlogs or whatever, it's like it's not taking you anything to do them, because you're just filming your life. You're living that life anyway. You're just sticking a camera in front of your face, and as I'm saying, it almost, I think as well, not even from a selling point of view, but just building your fan base. It's so important. And again, if you stick to just posting stuff on TikTok, posting stuff on Instagram, you're only limiting yourself to the people that follow you. You know, if that's 1,000 people, 2,000 people. Good thing with TikTok is the reach is so, you can be put in front of so many eyes. Same with YouTube. So I think it's just massive, and you know, just being even around the lads and how they sort of maximise their opportunities through all their sort of different like content and all the rest of it, and how they do content. It's amazing. It's just completely like rejigged my mind on how to work it. Like
100%. We've even seen it, like the difference between a video we put up that doesn't feature the lads in it or a video with the lads, like, and we've put ourselves into that position where we're working with them, and you know, that's really helped us. And I think like that's why I'm like so pumped to get behind you, because I can see the way your brain's working, and you're working with the lads, and you're seeing like this is a really good opportunity for me to obviously you've bought the camera, you're going to go start creating content yourself, but like surrounding you with the right people and the right creators who will help boost your following, and you're getting access to all of their fans as well. And if you're a constant in their content, suddenly those people are going to take interest and go, you know, what's Gerard doing? Who's Gerard? They filter back to your social media pages, and like suddenly they're like, oh shit, like this guy puts up daily videos. He's giving us a complete behind the scenes on what it's like to be a professional boxer. And as you said, like, it's not a change of lifestyle for you. You're doing this stuff anyway, right? It's
you just need to get used to putting the camera.
100%. And you know what? There is that kind of awkward bit at the start where you're like, I remember when me and David when we're walking down the street in New York, and I had the Osmo, and you know, it's a little bit less in America because they're kind of used to it. Yeah. But you see it in Cork now, walking around here, and Chan, who's filming this for us, he has his massive camera, and that just draws eyes.
It does.
But like, I'm a firm believer, as I said, the 5-year thing. In 5 years, everyone's going to be doing this. So I think like getting ahead of it now and being at the front of that wave is gonna do you good. On the lads, so creator boxing, it's obviously massive. It's bringing new eyes to the sport, but it obviously has its controversies, and there's hardcore fight fans who probably aren't behind it. But as a professional boxer, what's your take on it? Like, are you behind it? What do you think of the creator boxing space?
I'm behind it because I see it as two different entities. You know, you have professional boxing, it's professional boxing, but you have this misfits that it's entertainment, and you can't knock these lads because they've, again, you know yourself how hard it is to build a following. Yeah. So they've put in hard work to build a following, and they're just doing what we're trying to do, maximise their income streams. You know, if they have a company like Misfits that's willing to pay them to fight, and they're interested in fighting, why not do it? You know, and if you can make that difference, that if you can separate the two of them, they can go hand in hand. And as you said, it's building the sport. It's bringing new eyes, and that can only, like somebody like me, you know, if you have a Misfits fighter that starts fighting in Misfits, and it gets one child or whoever it is, one teenager interested in the sport, that only benefits me and the whole sport. Because that child might go and start boxing, take up boxing, because they've seen it through their favourite TikToker. Do you know what I mean? So they go hand in hand, and as long as you separate the two of them, I think there is hardcore people that are against it, but just stay to watch professional boxing. Watch what you want to watch. Don't watch Misfits. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Because, again, you can't knock them because they're making good money. And to be fair, there's some of them, like the likes of Jake Paul. Yeah. He's living like a pro. Yeah. Spending, like, I seen actually a video. Like, he's spending like $500,000 in his camps alone. So there's professional boxers not spending that money. So how can you knock them?
And the other thing is, I suppose, like, how much opportunities is Jake Paul creating for trainers and sparring partners in the space? And like, as you said, as long as people come in and respect the sport and take it seriously, obviously there's an entertainment factor to Misfits, and like that has its pros as well. You know, I think we spoke in New York about some of the fights that are just nuts. Two people who get into the ring and have never boxed in their lives, and they fight. There's an entertainment value to that as well. So I think like Misfits is kind of in two tiers, where, and creator boxing as a whole, like there's kind of those almost the comedic value to some fights, and then there's actually, as you said, the Jake Pauls of the world, or you know, the Ben Williams who are actually going out, have a bit of like fight IQ about them, and they're taking it seriously. And like some of those fights are very entertaining to watch, and I think like the hardcore fans, as you said, can, you know, they can turn their nose up at it, but like at the end of the day, I think you can choose not to watch it. And I think like the way the world's evolving, I think, you know, as you said, it's better for everyone if this gets more kids into the sport, if it gets more money into the sport. And it, like there's promotions that do both, right? They do the professional space and the creator space, because there's money in.
It's just accepting it for what it is. You know, it's creator boxing. Like that's what it is. You know, it's like to look at it as anything else, then that's when you would, like, it's creator boxing. It's people who have followings bringing like big numbers. Like these people are doing big numbers on pay-per-view, you know. And I'm not going to lie, some of these shows, like everybody's on the zone at the minute, some of these Misfits boxing shows are doing better than the pros. Yeah. So they must be doing something right. But even touching back to the likes of Jake Paul giving people opportunities, I respect Jake Paul because he's wet and he's started his own promotional company, and he's given one of the best female sports people to come out of Ireland, Katie Taylor. He's given her 3 massive opportunities and 3 massive paydays. So you can't knock that. It's sort of actually flooding into. Don't get me wrong, the MVP what he sort of set up was sort of his backing and his management, but he's paying Katie Taylor record paydays. You can't knock it, and there's pros benefit from it as well.
I think you're dead right. I don't think the Katie Taylor paydays would be as big if Jake Paul wasn't involved in that.
Jake Paul's putting the money up,
and
he's backing it. He's going to these like the likes of DAZN and going, we're going to put this money up if you can match it. But they're also getting him and his promotion and what he brings to the table. Do you know what I mean? And he's going to push it. And yes, he has the fighter Serrano. He does promote her, but that's what I'm saying. He's a influencer, creator, YouTube boxer, promoting professionals. So, but that it makes sense because then before Jake Paul got involved with Serrano, nobody knew who she was.
Yeah.
Now look at her; she's a superstar.
Yeah.
Same with he has a few boxers that are coming up and they're at the start of their careers, and they'll only benefit from. Yes, he's having these misfit style fights, but they're benefiting from what comes with that.
Yeah.
The fanfare, the people tuning in, and again, if we all come not work together, but work side and side, it only benefits everybody.
They complement each other. You know what I mean? It's like it's whether that's like the trainers and professional boxers getting more involved in the creator side of things and helping creators kind of up their level and like bringing a kind of new standard to creator boxing, or the creator boxing obviously bringing more eyeballs on the sport, more eyeballs and people interested in the professional sport. That's just going to like bring the money up everywhere, right? And everyone's going to do well from that. Cool. In terms then of yourself, I'll ask you 2 opponents. So the first one, from a professional standpoint, who is Gerard's ideal professional opponent?
Like a dream opponent?
Dream opponent.
There's a guy at my weight. He's very, very good. He's from Japan, Inoue. He has all the belts at the weight. I would love to fight him, just to see where my level is. He might knock me out, but let's go for it.
Yeah.
Inoue, I'll call him out on this. Inoue, I'm coming for you.
Brilliant. I've actually never heard
very,
of him.
very good.
Is he? Yeah.
Very good. He's like a 4-weight world champion.
Amazing.
He's just cleaned up. Now I think he's going to move up again. The featherweight, I'm super bantam. He's probably going to move up the feather, but the money that would come with that fight would make you take it alone.
Yeah, 100%.
But he would be a dream professional opponent.
Deadly. And then dream creator opponents.
Dara or Mercu, I'm coming for you. Give me 6 weeks. And me and you can fight. Me and you can fight on the next Misfits.
Do you know what you should do? You should do, because Dara's was into karate, so you should do 1 round boxing, 1 round karate.
That. We could do that. I would punch though. I would go against the road. I'd be punching him. But Dara Mercu, I'm calling you out. I want you next Misfits. Me and you can fight.
You heard it here first. Cool. And then in terms of high level, because I know a lot of this, you have to keep your cards close to your chest, but what's kind of the short term future look like for you?
It's looking like getting out on a good show in June, and it's all to be announced. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it all comes through, and it looks like it is. So just waiting on an announcement now, and just can't wait to get back active again and have you on board. Amazing, yeah. And having some collaborations with the Fight Kit.
Oh, 100% though. So keep watch this space, because we have some exciting ideas for that. So watch out for June. We won't tell you where or when or what, but we should hear something pretty soon.
I would say so.
Cool. And then final one is, you're getting into the content game. You are about to buy or just bought a DJI Osmo? Just ordered. So as fans of the sport and fans of the creator space, if they go and follow you, what sort of content can we expect from you moving forward? Just an insight of what I do. Do you know what I mean? I think that's it's the best way to start off. People get to know you. People get to know what you're about and how you train. And that's what I'm saying. It's not even, although you're sort of getting yourself into that creator space, but other boxers, like I know I watch boxers and they do day in the lives or whatever, and you can learn off people, what they do and see if it works for you. So
definitely I'm going to get into vlogging. Do maybe start off with like a weekly vlog. That's what the lads suggested. You know, just pick up the camera and just film anything.
And you've the best advisors in the world, and the lads. You know what I mean?
They know what they're doing. They have that. The first time I met them, I was, you know, I didn't really know who they were. I knew of them. I didn't know them on a personal level as I do now, but they're clued in.
Yeah, they
Both of them are clued in, and I've learned so much of them, and as now I'm training the both of them too. So it's a great relationship because they're learning off me, I'm learning off them. So it's great. We're both working well with each other, and again, some news about them two coming up quite soon as well, which will be good.
That's well, like Dara, obviously, I saw him in a few videos with you recently.
Yeah.
He can throw a punch.
He can throw a punch, all right.
But I'm sure Nasty can move around the ring if he wants to as well.
Nasty can throw a punch as well.
Yeah.
All them space bags are getting in his hands, so they are. That's what it is. Knockout punches in them hands.
Deadly. Well, look, thank you so much for being our first podcast guest. Very excited for what's to come this year.
We are.